Well, now's as good a time as any, I suppose. So why am I here? Why am I making this video? I do a lot of videos. I guess I should start with my name for those that may not know me. I'm Ron Howard. Not the Ron Howard, just another Ron Howard. More hair, less money. But I live here in Fillmore, California. We've been here, that's my third time living here. And, well, let's just get to the chase. So last week I found out I have cancer, throat cancer. We'll get into the details of that in a moment. So now what, right? I'm not a stranger to the disease, seeing it inflicted on other people, family, friends. So I have some familiarity, but that's never the same when you know somebody that has it than when you have it. Suddenly it's very different. Hopefully the mic is picking up okay. Wind is howling today here in California. But maybe some background to give context to this. I'm not really sure how I'm going to use this video. I make a lot of tutorials for the holiday lighting hobby that I'm in. I made a business out of it, so I've done plenty of in my office tutorials on how to use software and holiday lighting. So this is a little different, but it's my hope that if other people can avoid this, can learn from this, or learn to cope with what I'm about to go through, that they'll see there's a light at the end of the tunnel and know it's okay. There are lots of different types of cancer, and off the bat, my prognosis is good. The treatment doesn't sound pleasant, but it's that or I don't get to live. And I'd like to see my kids grow up, so that's sort of important to me. So last week, well, let's go back. For a while, I've noticed sort of I don't know, like an earache. This was probably August time, and that my throat would sort of get scratchy, well, maybe a little sore. Not to make me worry about it, but the ear was sort of like, oh, I've got another ear infection. I've had one before. But then, during one of my rides, you know, I could feel it, and I was riding a lot inside my garage with Zwift. It's a platform where you ride with people all across the world on a stationary bike, and it's a lot of fun, and I was really getting in good shape and enjoying it because I used to race bikes. So I was coming down my stairs one morning, and my phone buzzed, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, someone purchased an annual membership. Well, that's lovely. And the next thing you know, I'm sliding down the last 3 steps of my stairs, and I rolled both ankles. This was October 10th. I was like, oh my gosh, getting old sucks. That is just so stupid. And I walked a couple times that day just to, you know, keep everything stretched out. Didn't think it was a big deal. The next morning I woke up, I wanted to go do a race. I was feeling really good. Whoop, my health monitor said, hey, today's the day to go hard. So I did a race, a 17-mile race on my bike. And I noticed that when we got to a steep hill, both ankles were not liking the idea of me climbing. And when I finished the race anyway, because I don't like to quit. And when I got off my bike, I knew right away I was in trouble with my ankles. Trip to the hospital, a couple of MRIs, ultrasound, I'm just the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I had a fractured left ankle. And then I had to go on a job in Sarasota to help with the lighting show at a mall, which meant I would be there for 11 days, all of those days in a boot that sucked. It hurt to walk, very painful, taking meds at night just to be able to sleep. And all this time, something was brewing in the background that I would soon find out about. I needed to get with my doctor anyway to have a follow-up visit with the ankle, and I'm gonna go over this other side. There you go, come on through. And talking to Michael, and I said, okay, let's get through all this stuff. Here's the ankle, that's fine. I said, let's get to the serious thing. I leave it for last. I said, I've got this ongoing earache. It's not going away, and my throat's getting sore when I swallow on the left side, and I can feel something here. He goes, Ron, how long has this been doing this? I said, I don't know, a few months. He goes, oh, Ron. He goes, I don't think you have an ear infection. He goes, well, I want to get that ultrasound. I always like how it starts with an ultrasound with anything in life, and then progresses to an MRI, and then progresses to other things. So ultrasound shows there's a lump. Well, no shit. Really? I could have told you that without it. The MRI, though, it painted an entirely different story because they used with and without contrast, and sure enough, I have something in my lymph nodes and my neck and whatnot. And it was time to get to an ENT, and pretty quick. So January 3rd, we drive, Rose and I, from Fillmore to Santa Monica, and we take the back way so we can stop at a nice little restaurant on the beach. And then we drive along PCH. It's absolutely gorgeous. We're both nervous. And we go see an ENT. Now, granted, when I found out we think I have cancer was on December 30th when we were out driving around looking at Christmas light shows in Ventura County. After the first show is when I got a call from my doctor to give me the news. And I was pretty numb for a while after that call. We went to like 3 more houses to look at lights, but in my mind, it was stirring. The uncertainty, the what the hell did I just hear? But you have to try to keep a positive mindset. And when I saw the report from the MRI after all of this, before the ENT, I felt it. I thought, oh man, I'm in trouble. And I've been telling Rosa, my wife, for a while now, you've got to get your license to drive. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. I said, I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid to death of you not being prepared. And this was before I had any idea this was going on. Far before. So, let's just go this way here. I'll try to end this pretty quick. This is really long-winded, so I'm sorry about that, and I need to try to block the sound. Well, this guy's thinking I'm crazy, huh? We'll just keep walking. So I've had an idea for a long time something like this might happen, and don't ask me how I know. I just, intuition, I just knew something was brewing for quite some time. So when I saw my ENT, he wanted to do a biopsy because he found in my throat and he showed me that I had this growth, these cells, that he could see and touch. Put a scope down my nose and back of my throat, all sorts of ways to make me gag. Had me try to sing musical notes to see what it's done to my voice, because it is changing my voice somewhat. And he says, I'd sure like to get a biopsy, but you take Eliquis, because I've had 2 pulmonary embolisms. My body been trying to kill me for a long time, it seems. I'm going to be now walking across a parking lot, so I'll be careful here. And I said, you know, I haven't taken Eliquis today, and I didn't take it until, took it like 11 o'clock yesterday morning. He goes, well, let's do it. I said, great. So I signed the waiver. He goes and get himself 4 chunks. of flesh. And a week goes by, the fires break out, everything kind of comes to a standstill in California. And what do? He was a little behind time because he was providing a home and shelter in his guest house for people affected by the fire, so completely understandable. But he did call me this last week and said that I had what he suspected, which is squamous cell carcinoma, which is probably the most popular cancer out there. 60–70% people get this. But mine was attached to HPV, which has, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a virus that almost everybody has. Typically, you get it from kissing and other things when you're much younger. Mine was probably attributed to my teens and early 20s. I was a rock drummer, so we'll leave it at that. And the good part about that is because it's HPV related, the prognosis is good and it's centralized here. It's in my tonsils and it's metastasized to my lymph nodes. The tumors are too large to operate, so they will be using a combination of radiation therapy and chemotherapy. Probably 3 or so treatments of chemo and a whole lot of radiation for about 6 to 8 weeks. That's the part that I'm not looking forward to, but it's what you got to do. So I don't have a name for what this YouTube channel is going to be or how it's going to work, but I'm hoping just to share what the heck it is I have and what it's going to be like going through the process. I have a lot of other support people that have been helping me through this, trying to understand what my world's going to be going forward. You know, I'm going to embrace it. And it's a new challenge in life. It's a new experience. I love new experiences. And I hope this jaw-jacking might help other people through the process of what I'm about to go through. All right, we'll leave it at that.